Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
One of my favourite living room stories was when I visited the Big Potato in Robertson. Our next guest's family owned the Big Potato. What you may not know is the huge controversy surrounding this potato and its relationship to the town, really. It's a story about a local potato race. It was so juicy it's been turned into a film called the Appleton Ladies Potato Race. It's been written by the woman whose family owned the potato. It's been described as a heartwarming, funny and smart show, like the woman who wrote it. She's here to tell us more. Melanie Tait, hello.
Hi, Amanda. Hi, Jonesy. What a lovely introduction.
Well, Melanie, this story is fascinating. So it all goes down to the potato sack race, the world-famous potato sack race. The main prize is $2,000 for the men, but for the women, it's only $200.
So take us from there. What happens?
Yeah, so that's right of the movie, but in real life, it was $1,000 and $200 for the potato race. So a potato race is where you put a sack of potatoes on your back and you run around the oval in front of everybody in town on show day. And in 2018, I didn't discover, because that was the case. I discovered, though, that it was $1,000 prize money for the men's race and $200 for the women's race. And you know how when you stupidly mention finding something like that, you've got to do something about it?
Mm-hmm.
So I did a little fundraiser thinking, just my friends we'd raise the extra $800 and that'd be the end of it. And of course it wasn't. It was like the start of it. And it was one of those things where I raised the money, and I think maybe half the town were really into it and really into it being corrected, and the other half were just kind of a bit up in arms about it.
Why were they up in arms? What was it that upset them?
I don't know. I think that whenever, we can look all throughout history, whenever women try to get the same thing as men in a situation like that, there's always people that are upset about it. There's always people that think women don't deserve it, or they don't carry as much weight on their in the potato race. Literally, they don't carry as much weight, and it was stuff like that.
Right.
So change is really, really difficult, and it made a lot of people very, very uncomfortable. It was actually pretty awful. And with that, all those feelings, because I'm a writer, there's nothing else to do with the feelings. And so I wrote a play sort of inspired on that. So what you see on the TV tonight, which has been made into a movie, isn't exactly what happened. You know what I mean? Like it's very much a dramatisation that is inspired by this little moment in Robertson and my own personal history.
But how surprised you were in that small town, how quickly people could turn against you when your family lived there.
Yeah, it was so upsetting because my mum and dad at the time, they since retired, but they ran the local shop, and they had for, I think, something like 34 years. And I'd worked in that shop for years and years and years. So it was really surprising to me the way that, people I'd known my whole life didn't want to talk to me anymore. I remember on the day of the actual show, the day of the actual race, going up to the to where people registered for the race to find out how many people had registered. And the woman that was taking, down the registrations, who I've known my whole life, didn't talk to me, just didn't answer my question, kind of blanked me like I wasn't there. And I said to my friend who'd come up with me, I had a bunch of friends there for moral support, which was really nice. I said to her as we walked away, did that just happen, or did I imagine that? She said, no, that really happened. So it was really, really a very, very upsetting time. It was really, I was quite disconcerting, when people that you've known for a long time are upset by something that you've done or don't want to talk to you.
This begs the question, so with this movie coming out tonight, how are you going to go walking around Robertson now?
I don't know. I'll be really honest with you, Jonesy. I still feel a little bit embarrassed about it. So when I am at home in town, I don't live there anymore. I live in Sydney now, and I only live in Sydney because I can't afford to live back there now. It's so expensive to live there now.
All the hipsters have taken over.
Yeah. I would love more than anything to live there now on a just 10 acres. You know what I mean?
That's all.
Just 10.
Yeah, I'm not, I don't think that I'm greedy, just 10 acres. But still when Mum and Dad left the shop in February, and of course I went down and I always used to work on holidays, like Christmas and Easter and stuff like that when they needed the help. and I would still feel really embarrassed about it. And I kind of, if somebody would come in and not be all that polite to me, I would have this, and this is crazy. I mean, it was 5 years ago. I'm sure it's the last thing on people's minds. But I would think, oh my gosh, did they, are they being rude to me because of the potato race? I sort of, yeah, it's still there. I still feel a bit embarrassed about it, which is so strange because we had a great outcome. We got the money, sequel, it's great.
Hopefully this movie makes you lots and lots of money and then you can buy Robinson. You can buy the whole town.
That would be wonderful, and only allow people that support
your supporters.
That's your follow-up movie.
And that's when your dictatorship starts.
Exactly. Only those people are allowed to live there.
Well, this is a great movie, The Appleton Ladies Potato Race. It's tonight, 7:30 on Channel 10 and 10 Play. Melanie Tait, thank you.
Thank you so much, Jonesy. Thanks, Amanda. Have
Lots
a great
of love.
day.
Okay,
Look
see ya.
after yourself.